Let's just say you have $100,000 to $150,000 to spend on a daily driver. You want a blend of luxury and performance. You want to be able to put your kids in the back and terrify them on the way to school. You want a trunk spacious enough that you can make runs to the grocery store. Well, the Mercedes E63S AMG might be the perfect car for you. This vehicle comes in both sedan and wagon form, and today I am driving a 2018 E63S AMG sedan, and this thing is an absolute beast of a car. The previous generation E63 utilized a 5.5 liter V8. This generation is downsized to a 4 liter, but that loss of displacement is not a bad thing in any way. This is the 4 liter that's been found in pretty much a lot of Mercedes vehicles, ranging from an AMG GTS to a C63, and now also non-AMG cars like the S-Class and the G-Wagon. It's a hot V V8, which means the turbochargers are in between the cylinder banks. The E63's 4 liter V8 differs from some of the other ones, but it has twin scroll faster spooling turbos. It makes 603 horsepower and 627 pound-feet of torque. That power is sent through a 9-speed automatic transmission. They got rid of the torque converter. It utilizes a wet multi-plate clutch that allows you to do launch control, and it gives you faster shifts. And this thing is just straight insane. Holy crap. That's 600 plus horsepower and 600 plus pound-feet of torque. Mercedes claims 0 to 60 in 3.3 seconds. It has been tested in as low as 3 seconds flat to 60, quarter mile 11.2 seconds. It's crazy fast for a 4,500 pound luxury sedan. It also has all-wheel drive. The previous generation AMG E63 also had all-wheel drive, but it was a fixed power split. On this car, it can send up to 50% of the power to the front, so it varies from 0 to 50 to the front wheels, and up to 100% of the power to the rear wheels, which results in a literal drift mode, which I'm not going to try today because I'm on public streets and this is my friend's car, but it has a drift mode. The other side of it is it allows you to use it in the snow. This car is the owner's daily driver. He's got winter tires on it. We live in Michigan. It gets snowy, and all year round vehicle with this all-wheel drive system. From an exterior standpoint, this is of the newest generation of the E-Class, and I think it looks really good. The only complaint I can voice about styling is, when this generation of E-Class launched, I felt it looked way too similar to the rest of the Mercedes sedan lineup. Before, it seems previous generations, they would have very distinct styling, different personalities. They would look different. Now they kind of look like carbon copies of each other that have just been scaled down slightly. The C-Class is just 75% of an E-Class, and S-Class is just a little bit bigger. One drives by quickly. You might not know which one it was. Just the size difference is all you can see. There are very small details you have to look for to see the difference. They are really starting to look way too similar. But the AMG version is obviously going to be the most aggressive, and it looks badass. This one has the frozen gray paint. It's been covered in Expel Stealth and ceramic to protect it. It looks really cool with everything else blacked out. The grille, the badges, the wheels, the forged wheels are blacked out. It's got the red brake calipers hiding behind those wheels. It does not have the carbon ceramics. As a daily driver, it was opted to have just regular steel wheels. No need for the extra cost of the carbon ceramic brakes. But this thing looks great. Quad exhaust tips out back, and a subtle little diffuser, a little carbon fiber rear wing. You won't mistake this for an E300 with a little 2-liter. It is definitely the top-of-the-line, most evil-looking, badass E63. I personally think it looks better than the F90 M5. I love the way the wagon looks. I think it's one of the best-looking performance sedans out there right now. And like I said earlier, this is not just a pure performance vehicle. On the inside, it's very luxurious. It is equipped with an absurd amount of carbon fiber. Almost every surface that isn't leather or metal is carbon fiber on this car. Pretty much the entire expanse here, the center console that comes down, you get the IWC the IWC clock. IWC is a watchmaker. You get the clock in the dash here, which all the AMGs get. This is the first model year of the E63, so it still has the previous steering wheel. They updated the steering wheel, but it's nice. It's very thick, like all the AMG steering wheels. Got the fixed metal paddle shifters, which are very satisfying to pull. You also have the large, giant digital display screen across the dashboard. It pretty much goes across half the interior of the car. The graphics are absolutely beautiful. They're multi-configurable. It's got your infotainment, your navigation. It's wide enough to pull up multiple things. It looks amazing. The seats, though, are a little bit on the less comfortable side. They're rather thinly padded. They're aggressively bolstered and it holds you in really well. But for a daily driver, I don't know if they're the most comfortable. In something, obviously an S-Class is going to be a lot more comfortable with the seats, but I mean, as a daily driver, they feel rather hard and they're not the most comfortable of. But I mean, everything else is beautiful. The Burmeister sound system, which has metal speaker grills everywhere, little tweeters rotate out, the interior lighting, ambient lighting has tons of colors. You get the suede headliner with the giant panoramic sunroof. There's space in the back too. Again, this is the daily driver that you could have if you need space for your family. The owner of this car is a young son. He puts him in the back with the car seat. Spacious back there. I sat back there. I wasn't going to complain too much about it. If I had to do a road trip in it, it would be all right. Visibility is great. I mean, the materials are excellent and it sounds awesome. We got to talk about how this thing drives. It's a rocket ship in a straight line. I mean, 600 plus horsepower is kind of normal in like sedans these days. You think about the M5, F90 M5 has that, CTSV is well over that, RS7 Performance is at that level, the Porsche Panamera Turbo S E-Hybrid. These things they perform and accelerate in a way you would expect something exotic and two-door with the engine behind you would do. It throws you back into the seat and just launches away. But it's not only just a straight line limited thing. This thing is able to corner and turn. It's a large vehicle, but the steering is heavy. It's not the most communicative, but this all-wheel drive system does put the power down really well. When these cars first launched, I mean, journalists got to go test them around the racetrack, but I honestly doubt any of the owners were actually going to be tracking this car at all. It's more of a daily driver. And as a daily driver, I have a complaint about how it drives, more specifically how it rides. It's very firm, very harsh. I am in full comfort mode right now for the, let's say, comfort mode for suspension. And it rides very harsh. I know our roads in Michigan suck, but it's got air suspension, and even then, in comfort mode, it's very, very firm. If you put the suspension in Sport Plus, it's almost unbearable on the road. It bounces around and it's not comfortable whatsoever. That is crazy fast. There are multiple drive modes. You can start with your individual where you can configure everything to what you want. Comfort makes everything go into comfort mode. The suspension, the exhaust sounds, the powertrain. There is a Sport, Sport Plus, and Race that increases the level of aggression for your stability systems, your exhaust. This thing, we'll mention exhaust real quick. It sounds really good. It may have turbochargers on it. It's a smaller displacement V8, but there aren't many engines that sound this good right now. I think it's a beastly sound. It crackles, it snaps, it pops, and it's pretty loud too. But back to the driving modes. The suspension is really firm, especially if you go into the more harsh Sport Plus settings, but the transmission rips off really quick shifts. This thing puts the power down. Oh, it's cold out right now. This car is on winter tires, but just mid-range, that was like half throttle acceleration. It pushes you back into your seat. And if you do want to take it on a curvy road, it'll probably be fine too. We have to talk about value. This is a quite expensive vehicle. At a base price of just over $100,000, option up, a fully optioned car like this one, you can easily be over $140,000, touching $150,000. That is a lot of money for a sedan and daily driver. The thing is, as a high-end luxury car, and especially as an AMG, this car will depreciate and likely depreciate quite hard. So someday, hopefully you can get like a certified pre-owned one, 2-3 years old for 60-70 grand. That would be an absolute beast of a car. But taken on its current merits at its current price level, let's just say $120,000 for a lightly used mid-option vehicle. Competitors out there, you have the F90 M5. That is the biggest competitor for the E63 AMG. Mercedes themselves has the GT 4-door 63S AMG, which is slightly faster, a little more performance-oriented, and a lot more expensive. Audi hasn't released the RS7 latest generation car yet. But this thing, there aren't many things that I feel like it's missing. The only complaint I have is the suspension rides pretty firm for somewhere like Michigan. I'm in comfort mode right now, and it's not that comfortable from a suspension standpoint, but you could fix that by moving to somewhere that doesn't have horrendously crappy roads like Michigan does. But all-wheel drive system means it's usable in all sorts of weather conditions. It's got all the tech you would want, all the luxury. It's spacious, it's comfortable, it's absurdly fast. It sounds awesome. It looks great. This thing is perfect. It's such a beast of a car. I am extremely impressed. Hope you guys like this video. If you have any questions, please comment below. Thanks for watching.